It's the reverse grid, round 12 of the British Touring Car Championship, the climax of our day here in the sunshine of Oulton Park. In the commentary box, Tim Harvey and David Addison.
And a grid of cars ready to go. Missing Matt Simpson because of these engine woes. Missing Sam Tordoff after his fire with the engine in race 2. Thermal distress was how team manager Malcolm Swetnam described it. Bobby Thompson, we understand, is going to be missing from the grid as well. But even so, we have got plenty to keep us entertained for the final 15 laps of the day. The cars are going to be released shortly. Tom Ingram is good to go and he knows he needs some points out of this. Rob Austin is the man on pole position. That last Alfa Romeo outright win, Piero Simoni back at Donington in 1994, although Chris Ryan had a class win in the Alfa 156 in the days when we had BTC production and BTC touring. But in terms of an outright win, is this going to be Rob Austin ending a pretty barren spell for Alfa Romeo? So the cars accelerate away down towards Old Hall Corner. He's got limited weight on the car and he's got a clear road ahead of him, and he is full of optimism, full of commitment, and this promises Tim Harvey to be a very spectacular race indeed. Rob Austin is on pole position, Rob Collard with him at the front of the grid. Then it's James Cole and Andrew Jordan on row 2, Tom Chilton and Matt Neal next, ahead of Colin Turkington and Jack Goff. Ollie Jackson had a good second race, he's 9th on the grid. Tom Ingram for company. Then Adam Morgan and Dan Camish, Tom Oliphant and Rory Butcher is 14th, 15th Mike Bushell. Senna Proctor is next on the grid ahead of Dan Lloyd and Chris Smiley. Brett Smith next, Jason Plato starts from 20th ahead of Jake Hill and Michael Caine. Ash Sutton is 23rd and it's Josh Price 24th. Tom Boardman, he's 25th ahead of Josh Cook. Then Bobby Thompson may not be there, but Sam Smelt, forgive me, should be. Sam Tordoff is missing. Stephen Jelly there after a tough day, and Aidan Moffat's had a pretty tough day as well. He will be 31st, and Matt Simpson, disappointment after that great win and pole position. He has to sit out the next 2 races. He did say to me after the race 1 win, I can happily pack up and go home now I've had a win. I don't think he meant it literally.
Yeah, but he could have done. But he won't spoil his day. He's had such a great day. I think there's some famous people in the crowd here, David.
Mrs. Addison is there, my daughter Olivia, and all her friends who are busy chatting amongst themselves. Look, not focusing on cars at all, but they're good to go. They're ready for the last race of the day.
And my poor good lady wife has to stay at home and not go to the ball while she's busy cleaning the house and mowing the lawn. Goodness me, your dawn is spoiled.
This is the joy of living down the road from Oulton Park. In terms of weight, in terms of tyre, Rob Austin lugged 27 kilos around, all the way up to 75 for Colin Turkington, 7th on the grid, down to 9 for Tom Ingram, who is 10th. Rob Collard's on the option task, so is Adam Morgan, no longer championship leader. Teammate Tom Oliphant's on the option, and so too is Mike Bushell. Second half of the grid, Chris Smiley is on the option, so is Jake Hill, teammate Michael Caine. Josh Cook's had a pretty torrid time, he's on the option, and so also is Aidan Moffat. Well, it's been a quirky old day. The championship has certainly seesawed for some, and now with a fortnight's repair time, it's gloves off, let's go racing.
Yeah, and I think the 2 boys on the front row, Rob Austin and Rob Collard, they pretty much had it sus, because I think whoever gets away at the front of this grid is going to have a really good chance, because they've only got 27 kilos for Rob Austin and 33 for Rob Collard. And Rob Collard in that BMW with only 33 kilos and the soft tyres, boy, he's got a really good chance to win this race.
Indeed so, and James Cole is eager to do well on home soil. He starts 3rd on the grid. I know the car's that little bit heavier. You've got Andrew Jordan starting 4th again, but as we saw earlier on in the day, crowded track ahead, not that much width. Plus, of course, he's got a bit more weight on that car. What can he do? Andrew has been on the cusp of that result he's been wanting all day, but it's not quite clicked. He's got one last chance. Tom Chilton's had a cracking day, hasn't he? And he starts on the 3rd row.
Yeah, 2 podiums, excellent podiums, but still those little motor-based niggles creeping in. You know, we've lost Sam Tordoff from 2 races with a fuel fire, and that's a real shame, and they need to get on top of these reliability issues. But so far for Tom Chilton, fingers crossed, it's been a great day so far.
So, who is going to come out on top? What drama does the championship have in store? We always build up to this 3rd race. We have a calm first race, a rather more frantic second, and then light the blue touch paper and stand back for race 3. The drivers all love Oulton Park. It always develops some close racing. It always gets a big crowd here. The circuit looking magnificent on a day like this as well. And a place that used to host international non-championship Formula 1 races for the Oulton Park Gold Cup back in the 1960s and 70s. Now it's the BTCC that is the major meeting here. And as ever, thousands of fans have come to Oulton Park. Aidan Moffat looking forward to home soil and Knock Hill later on in the season. He's going to be starting at the back of the grid. Binoculars out to see the front row, and it's been a horrible day for him. He got stuck in the traffic in race 1 and he got nailed on that opening lap, Chamozel, in race 2. He was hit by Josh Cook apparently initially, and that was why the car was damaged for when Dan Cammish appeared out of nowhere on the grass and added to the woe. So the grid is just about formed. The last couple of cars will slot into place coming round Lodge Corner, and then it is time to go racing. The green flag under the footbridge means that everybody is there. That's the indicator to the starter to turn the lights to red, and round 12 of the British Touring Car Championship at Oulton Park is go! Is it going to be Austin or Collard leading to Old Hall Corner? Bit of wheel spin from Rob Austin, and Collard gets the drop on him. Rob Collard leads the way. Drama straight away. Oliphant's in the wall. Chris Smiley, I think that is off the road, and it is Rory Butcher. This is going to be a safety car. It may even be a red flag. Dan Lloyd has been wiped out in that as well. He's there with damage, lots of damage. And there we talk about a narrow circuit, and with everybody going for the same piece of real estate on the way to the first corner, safety car is deployed straight away. But this is going to take quite a bit of clearing up because you've got 3 cars plus all the debris on the road. Yeah, both BTC Norling cars involved in that, which is a great shame for Chris Smiley and for Dan Lloyd. But at the front, it was a great start by Collard. A little bit too much wheel spin. You spotted it, David, on the Alfa Romeo, and that was all that was needed for Collard to get across and lead into turn 1. Well, Tom Oliphant is okay. His is the green Mercedes, so keep your eye on that, and we'll start to see what happens. Mike Bushell's a bit slow. Rory Butcher comes up alongside him, and there's contact between Butcher and Oliphant. And then look, the BTC Norling Honda's completely innocent in that. They just got nowhere to go. Big damage. Yeah, it is a nature of this circuit. It's a very narrow circuit. We've seen accidents before. Here's on board with Aidan Moffat. The yellow flag's already out. The marshal's very quick. Signboards, cars going absolutely everywhere. All you can do is pick your way through. But yeah, good job by the marshals. But it's just the narrowness of this circuit. It does promote that kind of potential accident. Chris Smiley, all the drivers looking like they're perfectly okay, but it will be a bit of a clear-up job. Absolutely right, and there's a curfew at Oulton Park. There's another race to come after the touring cars as well. So Rory Butcher's car, which was not from pillar to post, the Hondas were trying to keep out of the way and just got drilled. The race is still live. It's behind the safety car, but even though we've got all that debris, there is a way through, so there's no reason to stop it, and hopefully things can be swept out of the way swiftly. There is, of course, the vehicle access point at pit in and at pit out, so the cars can relatively swiftly be taken off the circuit. Really, from Ian Watson, the clerk of the course's point of view, it's not just the cars out of the way that he's concerned about, it's any shards of bodywork that people might run over, but that's already being attended to. Yeah, the good thing is there's lots of marshals within the proximity of the start line, and our great British marshals will be on the case and over the walls and clearing everything up as quickly as possible. But it sort of depends whether the cars have to be pulled or lifted. But let's go to a break, and we'll come back, hopefully with a clear circuit after the break. So welcome back to Oulton Park, where we now have a red flag, because as you can see, we've got 4 cars that need removing, and that will take an awful lot of manpower and also the recovery vehicles. So there really isn't an opportunity now to bring the race cars over the start and finish line. You could run them down the pit lane. That's happened occasionally in races in Europe, but the clerk of the course has decided to stop the race. We'll re-grid, and it'll be the original grid because they've only done a lap, and we should be able to go racing again over an as yet indeterminate distance. But The main priority is to make sure drivers are okay, then get the cars off the track, and then make the circuit safe to go racing. So perhaps, inevitably, a red flag. All the teams now go back towards the grid, and let's try and piece together what happened. Let's hear from some of the drivers. Tom Oliphant was right in the thick of it and is with Louise.
Yeah, he was, and as a result of that, we're just walking down to the medical centre with Tom as a precaution. The medics want to check him over. So, Tom, just tell us what you saw of that.
Well, I got an okay start, not a brilliant one. Butcher was alongside me, and we were door to door, and then Bushell just took me out from behind. So spammed me into Butcher. Matt caused all the havoc. So I don't know what, people need to have a serious think. I don't know what on earth was going through his mind, but I got smacked from behind and put sideways into a wall.
We were talking about the fact that this is a very narrow circuit. Do you think that that's contributed to the incident in any way, or?
No, not at the start-finish line. I think, race 3, I think it's hard to get past here, but some people are just a little bit too, punchy at the start. You get a good start, that's all well and good. I didn't get a perfect start, but I got an okay one, and I was alongside Butcher, and then, the rest happened. All I can understand is that somebody hit me from behind, and I don't understand why that happened at the start of a race.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. I'll let you go into the medical centre. I understand that Rory Bitcher is in the medical centre at the moment, but the initial report from the medic is that's really just to check over, and no injuries to report. So we'll keep you updated on that, though, when we get some firm news.
Thanks, Louise, for the moment. So, of course, Tom Oliphant, Rory Butcher and Chris Smiley and Dan Lloyd, the 4 drivers with damaged cars. So we saw it from the old hall camera looking back up the grid. The grid, by the way, is now starting to form up again. Tim, let's have a look at it from this angle.
Yeah, looking back towards, there's Oliphant. Oh, and look, Bushell was in between the 2 cars. So he had made a good start. He was between the 2 cars, and it was just one of those cases of a sandwich. Watch Bushell, the blue and white car. He gets a great start, goes in between Butcher and Oliphant, and then they just come together without knowing the situation of the other 2 cars. It's inevitable. I mean, that is unfortunately a result of the slower car, the narrow track, and some cars making a good start and there not being room to get through.
And Dan Lloyd with a huge amount of front damage.
Yeah.
I mean, his was the car that launched Rory Butcher into the air there. So Chris Smiley's got damage on one corner, but it's the whole front of Dan Lloyd's car. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it took a lot of big impact, didn't it?
Yeah.
We saw it launch it up in the air. It's just unfortunate, If Tom had been hit from behind, you'd have said, OK, Bushell should have lifted off. But he wasn't. He was in the gap, and then the 2 cars either side of him squeezed together. He couldn't go anywhere.
Now, let's get a quick update on all of this. Who better to offer a medical opinion than the TOCA doctor, Dr. Paul Trafford. He's with Louise.
Yeah, absolutely, the man himself. And Traff, you've seen all of the drivers, haven't you, including Rory, who was the first driver to make his way down to the medical centre. How is he?
Everyone's fine. They're all okay. A bit shaken, a bit angry. It's easier to bring them in here to try and sort it out on the track, and as it's been stopped anyway, we'd rather just check them over properly. But there's no problems with anyone. So
very pleased to hear that. As always, a fantastic response from your guys on the medical team and from all the marshals here as well. It's been a relatively busy day for them, hasn't it?
It's hot for the marshals out there. At least we've got air conditioning in the car. But yeah, we've got a lot of people here, and it goes well. We just do what we do, and they're always okay. Hopefully.
You do it very well.
Thank you.
Well, let you get back to the guys. Thanks, Trav.
All right. Cheers.
Back to you guys.
So good to hear that everybody is okay. And if you look just at the back of the grid, that last shot, the grid is starting to form up. Cars are there, drivers bailing at Tom Ingram's Speedworks Motorsport Toyota camp. Looking at his laptop, Spencer Aldridge, the chief engineer on the car, and they're making sure that is all good to go. Tom started 10th and was 10th at the time of the red flag. Let's try and have a quick word with Tom. Red flag, Tom, gives you a chance to regroup and go again. How was the first attempt?
Yeah, okay, actually. Wasn't quite to plan. I think Jack's quite lucky there because he actually overtook me under the safety car board, so he's probably got away with that.
Is this now a real frustration because you want to go racing, or are you quite calm in there at the moment?
Biggest frustration is I am bursting for a wee, if I'm brutally honest. So that's the only real frustration that's going on at the minute.
That's an age thing, isn't it?
I wouldn't know, David.
Take it from me.
You'll have to let me know.
Now, second time around, clearly you're going to need a good start, but we've just seen, because of this incident that stopped the race, the perils of everybody going for the same bit of tarmac. So there's an element of keeping out of trouble, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like any start. You know what I mean? You want to try and get as good a launch as possible. but at the same time, you've always got to be aware of what's going on around you, and that's always been the problem with when we're battling against front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive cars. The big difference on the line for the rear-wheel drive cars. I know there wasn't one involved there, but it's one of those things you've got to be so on the ball with that. If you trip up, it ends up being quite a big one, unfortunately. So I hope all the guys down there have come out safe, and just get a race get it going again, and hopefully have another safe start.
Tom, it's Tim here. Everybody else is fine of the drivers, but just a little bit of advice from an old man. You have got time just to pop into the medical centre on your right. It's only 50 yards away, and you've got time, mate, so enjoy.
Tim, you are a superstar, mate. Thank you very much indeed. I'll bid you farewell, and I'll just use the medical centre, shall I?
Your splash and dash. We're here to serve, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Right, now, Matt Neal, I think, has already bailed out of his car, and all being well, should be killing time with Louise.
Too much information there, too much information. Matt, a chance to catch up. Just fill us in on, well, it's been a good day for you so far, hasn't it?
It's been a great day. I was a bit gutted with seeing all that red flag, because we made a good start. I almost thought we were going to keep Colin behind us, but still got in front of Tom, and we were running okay in sixth, so... But you just hope everyone's all right. It's the nature of Oulton Park. It funnels in there, and with 32-car grid, you are going to be getting a fair old lick by the time you get halfway down to turn one. So I think we've been doing well to escape 2 races without one happening.
Well, we've spoken to Traff, and all of the drivers are absolutely okay. They're just in the medical centre having a quick check over, but Traff says no issues to report there. You're an old hand at this, aren't you? I mean, you're well used to races being stopped and having that little bit of a delay. What can you do with yourself? Just kind of wander around and talk to people like me, I guess.
Keep hydrated, because it's hot in there. Just clear your head and think about how you're going to make a good start in the next one. Just think about nothing really. Go and have a chat and just try and be cool.
So just talk us through the start of the first one, and what are you going to do differently this time around?
Try and keep that nutter behind me in the VM. That's easier said than done. I was pleased that I got in front of Tom on that one. You know, I say one of the hardest things about driving one of these cars is getting it off the line well. It's such a marginal thing, but you know, obviously the ambient helps us with the front wheel drive. It means you can be a bit more aggressive in there. But it's still, the BM's still just got physics on its side, the way it puts down the power on the rear end.
Well, hopefully you'll be back out there soon. I'll let you carry on wandering around, clearing your head. And in the meantime, we're going to go for a quick break. Welcome back to Oulton Park. Cars still waiting on the grid. We think it's probably going to be about another 5 minutes until the green flag lap gets underway. So an opportunity to jump in and have a chat with a few drivers. So I thought I'd come and say hello. James, how's your day going so far?
It's going quite well so far. Yeah, we've had a 7th and a 5th, which has put us on the reverse grid for 3rd. So if we can have a start similar to that, obviously the BMWs with the rear-wheel drive are better off the line. But looking forward to a good race.
I mean, you came here, the team came here with, never having achieved a podium. That's been ticked off the box now. It's great to see the potential of this Motorbase Ford finally being realised, isn't it? I
think so, yeah. You know, we had pace at the first 2 rounds. Thruxton was our worst so far, but the Team Shredded Wheat have done such a fantastic job at the beginning half of the year, and it's good that Tom has repaid them with some podiums. Now it's my turn.
And how are you feeling in the car? Are you settled in it? You're very happy with it?
Yeah, really, really happy. I was part of Motorbase a couple of years ago. We got half a season, and it's nice to be back. The 3 drivers work really well together, and Tom's been doing all the, Tom's been he's been good for me, helping me learn, get back into front-wheel drive cars. And it's my turn to try and repay the team now as well.
What difference does it make having that trust and that relationship with your teammates, the fact that you can really work well together?
It's like I said, it's a trust, and it's more when they tell me what they're doing with their car setup. But instead of thinking, oh, is that actually what they're doing? We believe each other, and it's really good that you've got 3 drivers that work really well, and it's credit to the team.
Okay, well, I hope it goes well out there when the race finally gets underway. Let's go and grab a word with Mr. Jordan. We saw him in his swimming pool earlier on. It's seriously hot here today. I might be going and diving in. Actually, swimming pool is somewhat overstating it, isn't it? Paddling pool. I'm just saying I could do with a dip in your paddling pool now. It's quite hot. You've stayed in the car, though. A lot of drivers have got out and had a wander around.
Oh, that would have been useful to know, because I need the toilet. So, yeah, you never know how long it's going to take, but yeah, I could have done with getting out for a minute or 2.
You're the second driver that we've been talking to today about their need to relieve themselves. As Tim was pointing out, the medical centre is just over there, but you've possibly left it a bit late now because I think the green flag lap's coming up quite soon. Anyway, let's talk about something else. What are your thoughts when the race does get underway?
I think obviously Rob's going to be strong on the softs. I think we can challenge for a podium, if I'm honest, and so that's what I've got in my head really, is get another trophy, and that would be a pretty good day for us. So, and obviously let's stay out of trouble. It's race 3. We know what happens in race 3 normally. Everyone goes a bit wild. So, but a really good day. We didn't quite get the balance with the weight in race 2, but still we were solid points, and yeah, let's see what we can do.
I was talking with Matt earlier on about just about this race. Tom Oliphant was. I was asking him whether the fact that his circuit is quite narrow, whether that contributed to the incident. Matt, Neil behind you, said, yeah, you often get that here. Tom seemed to think it was just down to sort of driving standards. But what's your view on the circuit? I mean, it is quite narrow, but everybody loves it here, don't they?
Yeah, it is. It's a narrow circuit, and you really notice that off the start, depending on different people's starts. So I hope everyone's all right, obviously, and let's get stuck in.
I'll let you to it. Let's go back over to the commentators.
Thanks, Louise. Just to finish off about all of that, Rory Butcher, who we've seen involved in that accident, I never got a chance to tell you, had won Dunlop's Forever Forward in race 2 for gaining places, and now sadly he is going to be a spectator for this final race of the day. Let's just remind ourselves why we've had to have a red flag and a restart and a shortened race duration of 12 laps. Tom Oliphant admitted he didn't get a perfect start. Mike Bushell got a good start, went for a gap between Butcher and Oliphant. There's the squeeze. Oliphant gets turned into Butcher, and the net result of that was that the cars pinball their way across the road, and the 2 BTC Norlin Hondas, Chris Smiley and Dan Lloyd, are involved, and this is the impact coming up for there, Butcher and Lloyd, which is very serious, and Mike Bushell escapes.
And Mike Bushell goes through without a scratch on the car, ironically, and this is on board with Moffat from deep in the back of the pack. He's coming up over the crest. He doesn't know what's occurring, but look how quick the marshals are to get the yellow flags out. He's on the brakes. He can avoid any incident and gets cleanly through to make the restart of this race.
So it is going to be the original grid, but with even more gaps. Now Rob Austin and Rob Collard are there at the front, as ever they were. James Cole and Andrew Jordan on the second row. Tom Chilton and Matt Neal on row 3. Colin Turkington and Jack Goff, the fourth row of the grid. Row 5 is Ollie Jackson and Tom Ingram. Then it's Adam Morgan and Dan Camish, but then the gaps start to creep up because there's no Tom Oliphant and there is no Rory Butcher. We do get Mike Bushell though, Senna Proctor alongside. There's no Dan Lloyd and no Chris Smiley. Brett Smith next on the grid, Jason Plato for company. Jake Hill and Michael Kane, row 11. Row 12, Ash Sutton and Josh Price. 13th row, Tom Boardman and Josh Cook. We never had Bobby Thompson anyway. We've got Sam Smelt, Sam Tordoff missing because of the engine fire. Stephen Jelly is there. Aidan Moffat is next. And no race 1 winner, Matt Simpson, sadly, who had to miss races 2 and 3 because of an engine drama. Extraordinary, isn't it? He won the race and hasn't been seen since because of the need for the engine change, but he'll be back at Croft. So Rob Collard making his way round to the grid. He's on the outside of the front of this 1x1 stagger. The stagger is to try and put a bit more room between cars, but on a narrow circuit like this, it doesn't always work.
What it does mean is that Rob Austin's got another chance to make up for his bad start in the first run. He'll have learned from it. He got too much wheel spin. Can he improve on it? Ironically, he was saying to Louise before that first start that he'd been making good starts this day. He's Sonslow when you're old, isn't it?
Yeah, famous last words.
But another chance.
Indeed, so there's his box with this busy crowd overlooking the circuit. And cars now then swinging their way up towards Nickelbrook Corner and then to Clay Hill. There is Mike Bushell, who's got, of course, fewer cars ahead of him now.
Yeah, he's got a nice gap in front of him now. If he makes another good start, he's got empty road just for the row in front. This is coming up Clay Hill, on board with Tom Ingram, who will feel much more comfortable now we've had that little break. It takes a long time for the cars to form up on the grid, such is the length of the grid. And the front row guys are sitting there for a good minute before the green flag comes to wave at the back. That's why Rob Austin is slowing the pace down as much as possible.
So Rob Austin down towards Lodge Corner, and as you say, it is a slow green flag like this as he tries to bunch up the field and go again, ready for what's going to be now 12 laps. So it's the original grid with those gaps now, and coming down towards Lodge corner. So there is Rob Collard's view. He got the jump on Rob Austin last time around. Let's see what he can do. Second time of asking. James Cole, local driver Andrew Jordan, the Lichfield-based former champion, alongside on the second row. And Rob Austin, who's ever so proud, like Simon Belcher, of this Alfa Romeo that they brought into the championship. It's in its first year of development, getting quicker and quicker each time out. Fastest at the start of the weekend in the first free practice session. And we've said it before, Rob has said it aplenty himself. He does not lack commitment, and he's going to need that to fend off Rob Collard.
He does shorter race now, 12 laps instead of 15. That will suit Collard as well on the soft tyre.
So take two, gaps on the grid, and a shorter duration, as Tim Harvey rightly says. Aidan Moffat is still the man at the back of it, though, and he's got work to do. And as the Scottish driver who had front damage and plenty of rear suspension damage in race 2, the team has worked very hard to get him on the grid. He slots into place. Former racer Chris Southcombe, the marshal with the green flag, is going to wave that and say that everybody is where they need to be. And so let's try again. Round 12 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship is good to go. The lights go red. Is it going to be Austin to make a better start? There's a bit of wheel spin, but he does get his nose just in front of Collard on the way down to World Hall. But Rob on the outside line, Rob Collard that is, will have the advantage. He's got the race lead, and Jordan tries to swoop round the outside of Chilton. Do they touch? They lean, certainly, but round the outside goes Andrew Jordan. So it is Collard, Austin, Jordan, the top three. Up into fourth place is James Cole. Chilton fifth as they dive down towards Cascade. Turkington is sixth.
Yeah, repeat of the first start really, with Collard making a better getaway and being able to nose in front on the way into Old Hall. And Jordan will be pleased to have got in front of the two Motorbase cars as well.
Down towards Island Bend they come. Adam Morgan round the outside of Tom Ingram, who needs points out of this race. Aidan Moffat's on a real charge, isn't he? He's got past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already as over hill top they come. Jack Goff trying to gain ground as well, but Rob Collard, overdue a win, leads Rob Austin. Jordan is in third place as they dive down through Hislop. Then it's Cole fourth, Chilton fifth, Turkington sixth. Morgan goes a little bit wide of the Mercedes, but he gets away with that. Brett Smith battling as well. There goes Moffat through shots. Sam Spells at the back, and Ollie Jackson gets a little bit crossed up in the pack there. Look, coming out of Knickerbrook.
Yeah, very much bunching at the back of the field, but they're through Meany, and Rob Austin is on the back of the BMW. Now, normally the BMW takes a little while just to get heat into his tyres. Now, is that Ollie Jackson with the problem? He's slowing on the inside there. Maybe he's got some suspension. No, he's got flat right rear tyre from that little touch of contact. But in these temperatures, you'd think the BMW would be scalding away.
So here they come then, down towards Welch Corner. The leaders go over the line. Josh Cook trying to get up the inside of Michael Caine. Aidan Moffat's view here. Josh Cook's had a horrible day, and he needs points desperately. Collard is leading Austin by half a second as they come across the line then. Third is Jordan, fourth is Cole. There is the race leader, Rob Collard. He always goes well round here, but Rob Austin is not letting him get away. Ollie Jackson is in the pit lane, and the top two getting away slightly from Andrew Jordan, who's got 48 kilos of weight on that car, so the gap's opening up between the top two and Jordan third.
Yeah, and he's starting to get the hammer down now and find his race paces, Rob Collard. We know when Rob's in the front, he doesn't need any second invitation to scamper away. This is on board with England, right behind Matt Neal. Remember, Matt Neal's carrying 66 kilos of lead ballast, having finished second in the race before. So he's going to be struggling in this race, and England really wants some result out of this. You know, you come to Alton Park carrying a bit of weight and struggling qualifying and races 1 and 2 because you can't get past. Race 3 is his chance to get somewhere.
And it's the local circuit for the team, local circuit for Sicily as well, of course, which runs the Mac Tools Racing Mercedes. A drive-through penalty for Michael Caine, and a drive-through penalty also being offered up for number 39, Brett Smith. So drive-through penalty for Caine, drive-through penalty for Smith. Turkington up the inside of Chilton, and Jack Goff's going to have a go as well. And we're hearing reports that Dan Camish may have a punctured tyre as well. So Collard leads the way. Austin is second, Jordan is third, Cole fourth over the line. Up to fifth is Turkington, down to sixth is Chilton, down to seventh is Chilton because Jack Goff goes through as well. Eighth, Ingram ninth, and 10th is Morgan.
Sorry, it's Brett Smith that's come in, so I'm assuming he was the Euro racing car with the puncture, and Camish as well.
Dan Camish has not yet made it back as far as the pit lane. There he is.
Not the best weekend for poor Dan Cammish, and welcome to Alton Park BTCC style, Dan. He's had so much success in the Porsches here before, but it's a different game in the touring cars.
So Brett Smith serving his drive-through. Michael Caine has got to serve his, so there's one pit stop for a rule break, which is Brett Smith, and there's another one coming up, of course, for Dan Cammish with the puncture. Now, does this explain it? Look left, there's Ollie Jackson getting involved there with Dan Cammish.
Yeah, it is.
So Dan Cammish limps to the pit lane, and another frustrating race, sadly, for the real standouts of Carrera Cup GB over the last couple of seasons. Mike Bushell has done the fastest lap of the race, incidentally. Rob Collard is leading, but Rob Austin is not letting him get away.
No, Rob's keeping him more than honest. A good performance, obviously slightly lighter car, but so little difference between them as to not make any difference at all.
This is lap 3, down Bay Calm. Turkington defending from Jack Goff. So remember that Jack made his way up past Tom Chilton a lap ago. Chilton is dropping back into the clutches of Matt Neal and Tom Ingram now as they come over the line. Collard to Austin is 6/10. New fastest lap by Rob Austin. 3rd is Jordan, 4th Cole, 5th Turkington, 6th is Goff, 7th is Chilton, 8th Neal, 9th Ingram, 10th Morgan, 11th is Bushell, 12th now is Senna Proctor turning around his weekend, and now on board with Tom Ingram, we're heading into Cascades.
Yeah, lovely corner this in any car, that using the camber to just hold the car in on that apex for a few yards before firing it off down towards the island hairpin. And watch how the brake lights come on just after that bump there. That's what makes it so difficult to spot your braking point.
Through the hairpin, can Matt Neal find a way past Tom Chilton? That's commentated on many of Tom's World Touring Car Championship outings, so he knows the way that he drives. Down towards Hislop comes Rob Collard, this time to the eye, the gap looking a little bit greater as they come through. And Mike Bushell, trying to catch up this queue of cars ahead of him, has done another fastest lap of the races there. Aidan Moffat gets past Jason Plato, heading down towards Hislop. So that's put Moffat up into 16th place, having started right at the back of the grid.
Yeah, so he's got pace. Sadly, this is the first sort of glance we've seen of the Subarus, as they've had another terrible weekend. And I don't know, well, it's going, Moffat's going on the outside of Plato. Now, does Plato not get the car stopped? He does get the car stopped. Comes off the corner very cleanly. At the moment, they're sort of side by side. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at the speed differential there.
Amazing, isn't it?
Well, that's a graphic demonstration, because Plato came off the corner perfectly okay. And for the first sort of 100 yards, it was no problem at all. And then Moffat just drove past him. And that has signalled Plato to come in the pits. So whether he was so furious with being driven past on the straight, he's just had enough, or whether he's got a genuine problem, I don't know. But end of the day for Jason Plato.
You can feel the frustration, can't you, from that onboard alone. There is Cole, Turkington right up behind him. And this is Tom Ingram's view, waiting to see whether he can pick up pieces ahead of him. But again, he's a little bit stuck in the pack here. He's got quick people all around him. Down they come towards his lots, lap 5. Michael Caine still to serve his drive-through, incidentally, but he's a long way back anyway. Michael in 17th place. There you've got James Cole, Turkington up behind him, and Jack Goff, who is still in the mix as far as the championship lead fight is concerned. He's right there on the back of Turkington, banking points again.
Yeah, it's these two guys now, you know, looking at championship situations. Turkington, obviously championship lead, just coming into this race, be very happy with his weekend so far. Goff trying to get a few extra points.
Towards Lodge they come. Turkington blocks Goff, has a look up the inside of James Cole. Tries to find a way through there, but Turkington's not going to do anything daft, is he? And risk damaging the car and risk not scoring points. Teammate Collard leading now by 8/10. Rob Austin, we had 3rd at Brands Hatch. Could he go better than that and be 2nd here? In 3rd place is Jordan, 4th is Cole, 5th still Turkington, Goff 6th, right up behind him, and very wide indeed goes James Cole, even wider goes Chilton. Adam Morgan is on the back of Tom Ingram, and we've got Josh Cook up into 14th place as Michael Caine serves the drive-through. This is Cascades, this is lap 6, this is the fight for 4th, 5th and 6th.
And remember, Turkington's carrying 75 kilos from winning the last race, so his car should be a fair bit slower, but he's making it work for him.
Fastest lap of the race, Brett Smith, after his drive-through. So clear real estate around him. He's done a 1:27.012. Turkington looks for a way past James Cole. The inside line is blocked. Can he sell him a dummy? Thinks about it, but James just hangs on in there. Chilton, Neal, Ingram, Morgan, they're all bunching up as well with Mike Bushell.
Bushell's had a strong race, hasn't he, after that first lap disaster. but not his fault, and he's making some hay while he can.
Yeah, he's been feisty all season, hasn't he? Think back to Brands Hatch at the start of the season. Think Donington as well. Mike himself admitting that he's a stronger driver than he was when he first came into the championship for Sean Holland, his team, a few seasons back, being off and won the Clio title. Now, here we go. Turkington tries to squeeze up the inside of James Cole. He's going to do it this time. He's going to commit at Lodge Corner. Turkington breaks as late as he does, and he goes through. Great move. Turkington goes fourth, and Jack Goff tries to get up alongside as well as they come now out of Deer Leap. Past the pits they go, absolutely side by side on the inside line now. It is the Honda, and Jack Goff goes through as well. So Turkington fourth, Goff fifth.
Yeah, good classy move again by Turkington, and Goff saw that coming, and once he knew that Collard was down, that Turkington was down the inside, there was no problem at all for him to slip up as well, and poor old Cole had no chance but to give up the 2 places. On board with Tom Ingram, he's still behind Matt Neal as they come down the island hairpin, everybody breaking in the middle of the road in front so as not to open the door on the inside.
And now Chilton is attacking Cole as well, trying to gain the pace. That's the top 3. Jordan, in other words, getting away from the pack behind and creeping back onto the tail of Rob Austin. So the gap between the 2 Robs is widening, but Austin to Jordan, I would offer you, is coming down. Look at this next battle pack, which is being joined by Bushell, and then by Proctor and Jake Hill, and then Josh Cook, and then Ash Sutton. That takes you all the way back to 15th. And look here, Ingram's up alongside Matt Neal. He's going for the place. Chilton is just up ahead of them. Ingram is through. Is there a bit of contact? Well, I think he's done it. He's just made it stick. No, Matt Neal comes back at him on the inside, and he goes back through, but he's off the road. Morgan's up the inside of Ingram. Off goes Matt Neal. Through the dust, he's going to get back onto the road. It all kicked off going up Clay Hill. So 1 up and 1 back for Tom Ingram. Morgan is the real beneficiary out of all of that, and Matt Neal tumbles down the field.
Yeah, well, he had to go for it. He didn't want to be left out there, and the opportunity was there to stay on the inside, but braking for Druids with the car unbalanced and turning at the same time. Jake Hill making a position up there, and, well, Matt Neal's lost a lot of points as a result of that.
He's come through in 15th place. There is Jake Hill diving up the inside of the Vauxhall. He gets past Senna Proctor. So Proctor loses 1 more spot. So that puts Jake Hill 11th now. We've always known Jake's been a handy peddler from whatever we've seen him in on the Toka package. But this year, this is another of those occasions where he's being able to show what he can do in a touring car. And now Josh Cook, double winner this year, gets up alongside his teammate Senna Proctor, who's been a single race winner this year, with Ash Sutton having a go at his former teammate and his mate as well, Josh Cook. There's a lot to shake out of this battle yet.
Yeah, they are good mates, aren't they? And, Ash Sutton looking like he's got the same straight line problems as Plato.
And have a look behind, because Matt Neal has now got the charging Aidan Moffat up behind him.
Aidan's come right from the back. This is the side-by-side action there. I think that wheel on the grass just meant Matt Neal couldn't slow the car down enough and sailed on through. And as you say, Adam Morgan got the best opportunity. This is Moffat now up behind Matt Neal.
Turning through Druids, so this is where Matt went rally crossing a lap ago, and Aidan Moffat absolutely charging. It's been a frustrating day for him, but can he get into the points here? Let's see, because he's 16th. He comes into Lodge Corner, the leaders go by. Collard to Austin, 1.6 seconds. That gap is widening. Austin to Jordan's 11 tenths. And his Old Hall Corner going to be where Moffat makes a move. No, he's not close enough, and he's not really catching here either.
No, he's not. I thought he was quick through Druids, but Matt Neal was very good on the brakes and into Lodge Corner, although he's offline there and missed the apex by a good 3 feet and was slow off the corner as a result, but he'll make it back here at Cascades.
But he's got Moffat right up behind him now, so what's going to happen down at the Island Bend hairpin? Let's see. There's no real room left nor right here for Aidan Moffat to go. He's going to try and force a mistake out of Matt Neal. Closing right up, wide in. Can he be tight out? He tries, he's up the curb, but there's still a face full of Honda.
Yeah, Matt Neal V'ing the corner, as we say, which is basically where he stops the car and the speed trace on the data drops to a V and then sharply accelerates out.
Now Tom Ingram trying to get back ahead of Adam Morgan there because he was delayed in that skirmish with Matt Neal. Up front, Rob Collard is leading the way and we're on lap 9. Rob Austin is second. Remember, it's only a 12-lap race. Now that's Jack Goff going off the road and Rob Austin's got a problem. The Alfa Romeo has slowed coming into Druids. So Rob Austin slowly through Druids corner.
No puncture, so I don't know what it is. No puncture, no smoke. Simon Belcher from HMS, so disappointed.
Absolutely. So everybody gains another place, don't they? Going to put Andrew Jordan second. It'll be a BMW 1, 2, 3 because Turkington goes third.
And here comes Morgan, Adam Morgan, side by side as they come across the line, and he's taken that position.
He gets past Chilton. Ingram tries to follow suit. Morgan, grass and all, goes through. So Morgan goes sixth now. His day is suddenly turning around, isn't it? Tom Ingram is there in 8th place. Mike Bushell is 9th behind him. Chilton trying to fight back. So the new order is Collard, Jordan, Turkington. Goff is 4th. 5th is Cole, 6th is Chilton, 7th is Morgan, 8th is Ingram, 9th is Bushell, 10th is Jake Hill, and we hear it's a drive shaft that has gone for Rob Austin.
What a shame. Drive shafts do take a hell of a punishment round here, bouncing off the curbs, using first gear at maximum acceleration, and it's just the worst possible time for it to go.
Now Mike Bushell's getting all toey against Tom Ingram, isn't he, here? And Jake Hill is up behind Bushell, so the two Team Hard run. Volkswagen CCs are together. There is Matt Neal, who's caught back up to the battle pack ahead of him, and he's dragged Aidan Moffat along with him. So they are running together, but now, of course, they are 14th and 15th with this very sad departure of the Alfa Romeo Giulietta. Rob Austin out of the race. Aidan Moffat goes up Clay Hill now. We're on lap 10. It's a 12-lap race. Rob Collard still leading the way.
And it's a BMW 1, 2, 3 to really salvage their day. Great news for Collard. He can get his first win. Jordan another podium, and Turkington will be delighted with this result.
Because it really does bring him definitely not into the mix in the championship, but into the championship lead. Morgan's having another go for a place here, coming over the line. Rob Austin is out of the car. Morgan goes through on the inside of James Cole, so that puts him now 5th. Adam Morgan absolutely flying now, isn't he? And Tom Ingram has got through as well to go ahead there, look, of Tom Chilton. So Ingram gains a spot, but Adam Morgan is really going very strongly indeed at a circuit that traditionally they've struggled for a setup on the Mercedes.
Yeah, and of course it was here they had that terrible fire which kicked off a run of bad results, but it's great to see this, and you know, it's just showing exactly what we said. If you come into this weekend with a lot of weight, you cannot qualify well, you can't race well in race 1, you're mired low down in the order for race 2 even without the weight where you can't pass. And it's only really once you get to race 3 you can salvage something.
Indeed. Driving standards flag, Senna Proctor, driving standards flag, Tom Chilton for track limits, as the cars then work lap 11. But as I said a while ago, you've got these 3 BMWs there locking out the podium at the moment, and Dick Bennett's mood will shift considerably, won't it? There you've got the gaps between them, the lead gap 3.2, the gap second to third 3.4. So a lot has happened in this race inevitably, but look, behind all the BMWs, there's Jack Goff yet again, banking more good, solid points. 5th is Adam Morgan. In 6th place, James Cole. 7th is this man, Tom Ingram, down to 8th, then is Chilton. 9th is Bushell, and 10th is Jake Hill going strongly.
I didn't think track limits applied in race 3 at a touring car race.
Really?
Ingram would like this place. He would like to get past this motorbase car. He slipped down the inside. That's a late move. And Cole sees him coming, gives him room. Bit of rubbing on the exit, perhaps unnecessary, but they've got through, and Ingram has got the place.
Tom Ingram goes through, and Jake Hill gets into the back of James Cole. Jake Hill goes through. That was a bit more robust even than the Ingram move, wasn't it? There was definite contact there, but Jake Hill goes through, so Ingram's up to 7th, and Hill gains a spot as well. So there you've got Chilton dropping away now. Bushell is behind him. Jake Hill's got past James Cole. He's now got the 2 Vauxhall Astras right up behind him. Where's Aidan Moffat gone in all of this? Because Matt Neal, look, he's on his own now, and Aidan Moffat wasn't quite as close on that last shot. And where's the Mercedes gone to?
It's not there, is it? Oh, is that it? Just coming to shot there, going slowly? Yes, it is.
So Moffat's very good charge on the last lap, remember, has come to naught, but the BMW top 3, here it comes, headed by Rob Collard, and what a drive. Great start, he's controlled the pace, and so for a career win 15, Rob Collard comes out of Deer Leap up towards the timing line, and Rob Collard is a winner at Alton Park, and he brings home the first element of the BMW 1, 2 for Andrew Jordan, 3 for Colin Turkington. Jack Goff is 4th, the leading front-wheel drive driver home. Adam Morgan 5th, the great drive ahead of Tom Ingram into the top 6. 7th, it is Tom Chilton. 8th, Mike Bushell. 9th, Jake Hill. 10th is James Cole, ahead of Josh Cook, Senna Proctor, Ash Sutton, Matt Neal and Tom Boardman to round out the scorers. And Aidan Moffat has got a puncture, has he? He's limping back. There was smoke, there was a bit of damage on the front left corner. And poor old Aidan Moffat, who has had only bad luck all day, gets it to the line, but loses another place to Michael Caine and ends up 20th. And he was a lap away from points, but a great result for WSR and a 1-2-3 lockout with another rear-wheel drive circuit next on the calendar.
Well, that's the point. We've got some big rear-wheel drive circuits coming up, and that's why. Oh,
is that Aidan Moffat's?
Well, it's a very small wheel. it's a what's left of a tyre that's come off the rim, isn't it?
I think that's Moffat's.
It's been sliced open. Yeah, I think it is Moffat's. What a shame.
Yeah,
but he had a great charge. But hats off to Rob Collard. Made a perfect start twice. Won this race twice, arguably, with 2 perfect starts. The soft tyres just right for these conditions and the shorter race and very little weight. And he made the most of it, just as you have to do in these opportunities.
And it's been a pretty frustrating start to the season for Rob. He'll be very, very pleased indeed with that result.
That's for you guys. That's for all of you. Thank you.
So Rob Collard, the victor by 3.8 seconds from Andrew Jordan. Colin Turkington third. And it's going to be fascinating, isn't it, to see how the championship looks at the end of a real topsy-turvy day in the sunshine at Oulton Park. And there is Aidan Moffat, who, having lost that tyre, you can see it on the front left corner, parks it at Old Hall Corner, and a day of frustration for the Scotsman. Day of frustration for our race 1 winner, Matt Simpson. There's a lot of good and bad stories for drivers over the course of the day.
But one thing's for sure, the championship's going to look very different to the way it was when we came in. Here's Moffat's tyre, it's been shredded, it's cut through, and it's just going to roll off. Yeah. It's actually only half the tyre.
Yes.
They're honestly not that, they're a bit wider than that.
To start with. So it joins its friends at the tyre barrier as Rob Collard comes down the pit lane. The best of the front-wheel drive cars home the Honda of Jack Goff. Let's look at the results of round 12. Rob Collard the winner from Andrew Jordan and Colin Turkington. A BMW 1-2-3. Fourth, Jack Goff ahead of Adam Morgan and Tom Ingram. Tom Chilton takes 7th from Mike Bushell and Jake Hill, with the top 10 rounded out by James Cole. 11th goes the way of Josh Cook ahead of Senna Proctor and then Ash Sutton. 14th, Matt Neal ahead of Tom Boardman, another local driver. Stephen Jelly 16th out of the points. Sam Smelt 17th ahead of Brett Smith after a drive-through. Michael Caine's drive-through putting him 19th, and Aidan Moffat's puncture dropping him to 20th at the very end. Colin Turkington leaves Oulton Park as the championship leader. He's 12 points ahead of both Adam Morgan and Jack Goff, with Tom Ingram now 4th. So he's back up ahead of Josh Cook and Matt Neal 6th. Andrew Jordan is 7th. Then it's Tom Chilton 8th. Rob Collard is 9th. And Dan Camish rounds out the top 10. For Rob Collard then, he goes through the technical checks, and a win from son Jordan in the mini challenge at Silverstone yesterday, and now Dad has a win in the touring cars at Oulton Park, just to prove to the next generation of Collards that he can still deliver. Was it in any doubt? Rob Collard is a winner at Oulton Park in the 12th round of the British Touring Car Championship. Hops out of the car. Andrew Jordan's BMW Pertec entry in the background going through the technical area, but a very, very happy Rob Collard now goes over to see Dick Bennett, the man that runs the team, and to take the congratulations of the WSR engineers that play such a huge role in engineering all 3 cars. And Rob, a very, very happy man indeed. So the celebration